Can you believe that one day soon I will be able to put Ari and Dante on lists like this? Can you believe that Ari and Dante is still gonna have a sequel? Like, that's a thing that's happening. Ooh. Hi everyone! Today I'm going to talk about some LGBTQ+ series and books that have multiple books in the universe and in that particular story that I thought would be cool to share with you. Some of these are obvious ones and ones that lots of people will know about, but I wanted to mention them anyway. And then others are ones that I've either just found out about, that I've kind of just started to read or just gotten hold of, and other ones that are a little bit like not as big. So firstly, I want to talk about a book where I've read the first one so far and I absolutely loved it. I bloody love superhero books, they are fantastic, and it also has a sequel which I'm buzzing to read, and that is Not Your Psychic by C.B. Lee. I have this book on my Kindle because I'm doing this now where I get them on my Kindle to see if I like them. I download the sample and then buy the book because it's usually a lot cheaper, and then if I really love it I buy the physical copy. So that's what I've been doing a lot of recently. This book focuses on Jess, who really wants to impress and live up to her superhero parents, but she does not have any powers of her own. Then she gets an internship at Monroe Industries, and there she gets to kind of prove herself but also work with her crush Abby. While they're there they kind of uncover a plot which is way bigger than any of them would have ever thought it would have been, and it is everything unfolding from there. I really love this book. I love the take on like different superhero stories, and you know, I think we've lived in a world for so long where the big superhero stories are the DC stories and the Marvel comics, and like that's totally fine. Like they are very big and they very much do dominate comic books and media. There's not many where it's not made by Marvel or Sony or DC. Do you know what I mean? So it's really cool to be seeing more of these things like Renegades and Not Your Psychic and that kind of thing. So I love them and I really love this series, and obviously yeah, it is an LGBTQ+ series, so I thought I would share it with you. Then we have the Noah Can't Even series by Simon James Green. This book focuses on Noah, whose dad disappeared a couple of years ago. He's dealing with lots of things, but he has his best friend Harry, and like that's solid. He's his best friend. And then at a party Harry actually kisses him, and it is everything that unfolds from there and kind of how their relationship continues from that moment in time. I love this series. Noah Can't Even was Simon James Green's debut novel, and I remember reading it back in the day. I really loved it. And then Noah Could Never is the sequel, and that's also really good. I've just got his most newest book, Alex in Wonderland, which I'm super excited to read very soon, but this one is one I really liked. It explores lots of really good things and important things. It's really funny, but it also has those really nice, sweet and serious moments as well, which I love. Then we have Fire and Stars by Audrey Colhurst. This book's sequel comes out in like very soon, in like a couple of months, so I thought I'd mention it because it is technically a series very soon, and you can read this one and then the other one will be out. And this book focuses on Princess Dana, who has known her whole life, and she has been betrothed to the Prince of Mineria. When she gets there she meets his sister Mare, who is really intimidating and she doesn't really know sort of where she stands with her. Then after a really big assassination that happens, Dana and Mare kind of have to team up and figure out what's going on and kind of join forces, and it's everything unfolding from there. I really liked it, and it's another one I thought I'd recommend because the sequel does come out very soon. Then we have City of Strife is the first book, but it is an Icelandor novel and set in the world of Icelandor, and this book focuses on Eithriel, who left Icelandor around 130 years ago and he hasn't been back since. Now he's back, he realises that the place has not changed, but he has, and he's kind of laying low in the lower city and trying to kind of blend back in and kind of figure out where he stands now he's back. Obviously that doesn't go down and like lots of things unfold from there. And this book actually has an entire LGBTQ+ cast of characters, which is amazing. It's so rare that we get that, and it sounds like an amazing fantasy series. This is one I actually haven't read yet. I only found out about this very recently, but I am so excited to read it. I have not read a high fantasy book like this in such a long time, so I'm absolutely buzzing to get my hands on this one and give it a go because I'm really looking forward to it. Then we have Every Heart a Doorway by Seanan McGuire. This is one I actually didn't know was a series until a couple months back, but this series focuses on kids who have gone to magical worlds like Narnia and Wonderland and Neverland, etc, and now they're back, they're trying to deal with that and trying to deal with being back and everything that comes from that and what's going on there. It's kind of like the what happens after the happily ever after situation and kind of dealing with all of that. And all of these children are under Miss West's care, and she's kind of helping them with all of that. This book has multiple different types of representation in it and does explore lots of different themes and lots of different things, and like I said, it is also a series, which I didn't know about until a couple of months ago, so I need to get on to reading the rest of them, but this is one I thought I'd mention as well. Now I'm on to the obvious ones that I have spoken about many a time on my channel, but still thought I would just mention because I say they're obvious, but some people might not know about them, so there we go. So the next up we have Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue and Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy by Mackenzie Lee. This is the first one in the series, and it focuses on Henry Montague, or Monty, who is, his dad is a lord. He is expected to pick up the estate and carry that on, but he doesn't really want to do that. Monty is bisexual, and that's something which he just cannot be, but he is very much in love with his best friend Percy. He's about to embark on his tour of Europe, his last summer of freedom kind of thing before he is expected to take over the estate, and he ends up going with Percy and Felicity, his little sister, and everything unfolds from there, and there's pirates involved and there's all these things involved. It's absolutely amazing. It's really well written, it's funny, it's serious, it explores some really, really good things, and it's amazing. But should also probably say this is set in the 1700s. That's the thing as well. It's not a modern book, it's a historical book, but yeah, really, really good. And then The Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy is the sequel, which is set afterwards and focuses on Felicity, and Felicity is asexual, so there's those ones as well. Then we've got the Magnus Chase series and also the Trials of Apollo series. This is like Rick Riordan's books, and I think after Percy Jackson, the Percy Jackson books, his books became very, very, like, much more diverse, and I feel like you can definitely see along with his writing style how he grew as an author and how much more inclusive he became. So now his books that are out now, they have gay characters, pansexual characters, they have lots of different characters in them, and it's really good to see how he's grown and how much more inclusive and how the representation in his novels have grown. So I thought I'd mention those as well, because not many people know that it's in the later ones, because a lot of people read Percy Jackson and it's not really in there, but in a lot of his later books there are lots of different diverse characters, so I thought I would mention that one as well. Same goes for the Shadowhunters series. I've got Dark Artifices here because I feel like Dark Artifices series is where it's very much like a prominent thing, and there's lots and lots and lots of different diverse characters in this series in particular. Obviously in the Immortal Instruments we have Magnus and Alec, and that's really about it, and then we kind of have Elaine and Helen near the very end, whereas these ones there's so many more characters, so much more explored, and again I feel like it really shows how Cassandra Clare has grown and how much more inclusive her stories have become and how much more central these characters have become as being like lead characters, and I think that's only going to continue as their books go on. So I thought I'd mention this as well, particularly the Dark Artifices series. And then finally we have Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli, and its sequel Leah on the Offbeat, obviously also by Becky Albertalli. Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda is the book in which the film Love, Simon was based off of, which is about a boy called Simon who's gay but not out yet, and he has a pen pal from his like school Tumblr who goes under the alias Blue, but he doesn't actually know who Blue is, he just knows that he goes to his school. Then it's kind of them talking back and forth, and then Simon dealing with like family and friends and coming out and all of that, and I love this book so much. I read this book in one sitting, I just didn't put it down. It's absolutely wonderful and I love it to pieces. This is the sequel Leah on the Offbeat, which focuses on Simon's friend Leah, and this was really kind of hit and miss for a lot of people. Some people loved this book and really, really resonated with Leah's character, and that's great. I personally didn't like some aspects of it. Leah's attitude to a couple of things was not the best. There's one thing in particular that she said to Avi and I was like, no thank you. But I did like the way that it was explored, and I liked Leah's mum's attitude to certain things as well. But this one I thought I'd mention it because Simon is fantastic and I want you to read that, and not many people know there is a sequel, so I thought I'd mention it. But this is one which I think had mixed opinions, but I just thought I'd put it out there. So yeah, so that is some LGBTQ+ series that I have read or I'm planning on getting very, very soon, and I thought that I would mention them and share them with you. If you have any more that you'd like to recommend, please leave them in the comments so that everyone can read and go and see what else there is. If you guys are new here, then I make videos a couple of times a week about books and fandom things, so if you want to stick around and join us, then you can do that. And as usual, all my links on my other social medias are in the description below if you want to come hang out with me on there. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you're doing really, 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 really well, and I will see you next time. Bye!